Lipstick tastes like Candyland. Sticky sweet, gummy pears. Mind if I sit on your lap? Can you handle that?
Hi guys, welcome back. I'm here with such an exciting video. I feel like in the intros when I can't stop smiling, you know I'm like genuinely really excited to film, and this video is so exciting and I really want you guys to watch because there's some history in this and some facts, and like I love more of like an in-depth video when you're learning stuff about fashion at the same time but still being practical. So I wanted to start off by saying this video idea is fully influenced by one of my favorite YouTubers that I watch. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, so I'm so sorry if I'm not. Tuba Avalon, and her videos are brilliant, and I'm just a girl that likes clothes, but she is a girl that fully knows her stuff about the fashion houses and what's going on. So if you want to kind of look more into that side of fashion, go and watch her because that is not what you're going to get over here. So again, thanks for the video idea. Listen, I'm gonna get soppy. You guys know I'm a poet and I'm one with my words and I like to write. So I wrote a love letter. So I'm gonna read that to you. My love letter. Now, I was sat a month ago wearing my vintage Burberry trench from my grandpa. My muse, if you will. For the first time this year. And although not being an autumn girl, feeling a slight sense of happiness knowing it is in fact possible to go out in something imitating a dressing gown, wherever you go. It was like a second skin, only better, like a warm hug that made every outfit just feel right. In that moment it hit me. The trench was, and always would be, unbeatable. Trust me, if you think you're a trench coat fan or a skeptic, you're gonna want to listen to this and then make your mind up if you're still a skeptic by the end of the video. Let's get into it. Yves Saint Laurent once said, "There is not a more versatile garment in a woman's wardrobe than the trench coat. Wear it over jeans, a dress, a swimsuit, or nothing at all. It is the ultimate coat for any occasion." And boy, I could not agree more. Now, it is in fact one of the believed to be longest lived trends which has stayed consistent throughout history and has only changed by slight things. But because it did evolve a little bit by little bit every single decade, that's why I believe it is one of the most lovable items in the wardrobe. Before we get into like talking about some fashion and some later adaptions of the coat, let's first talk history. And also why such a seemingly unshapeless, unflattering, oversized coat has lasted a test of time, even though back when it first came into fruition, no one was wearing oversized things. But how did that stick? You're about to find out. Now, the first ever trench coat was designed by Thomas Burberry, a British inventor, in 1879. He created it as a practical garment for soldiers made with a waterproof and breathable fabric called gabardine. Look, I'll spell it to you. Gabardine, which he had invented. And this specific material meant it could protect from the elements and the rain, but without it being really heavy and dragging you down. Now, let's talk about fabric in trench coats and what I think you guys should be looking for and what will stand the test of time. Now, I would be interested to see like a fully suede jacket. I think I found one on Vinted and it was like $2 or something, and the seller sent me an offer of like, I saw it come up on my phone like 2,000 something like that, and I was like, damn. You know, when you're just liking things, I wasn't really looking at the price, to be honest. Also, denim trench coats, I have one. And I can't say I wear it that often, maybe once or twice a year, which is so bad, but I still like it enough to keep because I do think it's still timeless in a way. But the only thing is with it is that I do sometimes feel a little bit trendy when I wear it because it's like overly, I don't know, maybe it's just too much. Sometimes you just gotta stick classic, honestly. Wool, we know a wool trench coat has been pretty big over the last couple of years, and I see why. We're getting into our materials a lot more than we have in previous years, and we just can appreciate real quality and spending money. If I'm gonna put money anywhere, I'd put it on a trench. Like, even if you say you're gonna get one from eBay for like £20 or whatever, I'm being honest, 150. Spend £100 plus on a really really nice one that you can find, vintage or even a second-hand one that you know has come from a good brand or good materials. Now, one adaptation is fur, like a fur trench coat, although I don't know if I'd just call this a long coat or a trench coat, to be honest. But this is one of the adaptions that has been made over previous years, and I love a long coat, I love a fur coat, not done in a mob wife aesthetic, but a vintage piece like this, even though it being fur, I don't think will ever go out of style, or there'll always be a place for it in society. And finally, I've seen trench coats in leather, but I'm talking more in like a steampunk, this like rock and roll kind of black big boots kind of look. And that is one way that I really appreciate, and I really have always appreciated like the grunge scene and alternative ways of dressing, because people that dress like grungier or more gothic or whatever the right terminology is that I'm supposed to say, to be honest, they dress way more interesting than you white men in Hugo Boss tops. That's a little bit yellow because you don't have enough money. Now, leather trench coats has been worn for years thanks to many TV shows and spy films, and it's been especially well known with detectives, secret agents. I mean, think of Sherlock Holmes or Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. And even one single garment, a trench coat, has become so many different characters' iconic staple look. Now, I don't know if I'm saying this name right, and if anyone's a little bit older than me, maybe you'll be able to correct me. Humphrey Bogart, something like that, but he apparently, I haven't watched it, played a detective on a movie called Casablanca, and it's been quoted that someone has said the trench coat was like a character in itself. It gave Rick, this character that he plays, the air of mystery, of being worn but timeless, just like the city of Casablanca. So if that means anything to you, there we go. Now, there's one thing that we can all agree on, to the grunge girls, to the basic girls, to the mum jean girls, to the Adidas Samba girls, to the do you guys hear how much I bug out when I make these videos? To the Matilda Jeff girls, to the baggy jean girls, to everyone of any type out there. It's one thing that we can all agree on. Now, I did say this in one of my previous videos, but with colour, I do think you just stick to the classics. You don't go crazy, you don't do anything with prints on. I'm saying charcoal grey, the classic beigey colour, navy. And to be honest with you, I know I said this again, but I wouldn't even do cream or black. I just think that's too boring, and the classic trench coat is beige. So if you want a classic colour, go beige. Now, I just said I don't like black trench coats, but the only way, again, I like it is in like a steampunk kind of way, and I just feel like you need to go the full 9 yards with this. You can't be wearing, or I mean, you can like do what you want, wearing like a fully leather steampunk looking trench coat and not wearing the outfit to go. I think if you're wearing that, you gotta have the boots, the hair, the piercings, the whole lot. Now, I'm gonna talk about some runway adaptations and my favourite ways to wear it and maybe more innovative things. Now, floor length trench coats, I love. Classic, I don't think there's never not going to be a place for them. Jogger set, you can wear it with joggers, with Uggs. It's like one of the most dressy coats with heels. Like, it honestly just goes with everything. And I even like the silhouette of how a dress or a skirt falls with it, and you can play into this silhouette even with more plain colours. You don't need to do the most with wearing something really out there, because the silhouette in itself speaks. Whenever I wear a trench or a fur trench, my little scarf's wrapped around my head at the same time, but in like not in like an Insta girl kind of way. Like, it sounds basic, but I tend to do it with the cowboy boots and just like dress it up a little bit more. Yeah, it's so versatile. Like, whatever vibe you're feeling, you know, you can adapt it to that. And I've seen this picture from Tuba's video that someone was wearing socks, like really big baggy socks, and then that gap in between the trench coat of just their legs. It's a lovely contrast because you've got such a big baggy winter looking coat and then you just see their bare legs. But even that silhouette is quite cool. But I feel like because up top you're going to be so warm and cozy that you could, if you wanted to switch it up, then you could do that. Now, talking of shoes, I've already mentioned cowboy boots, heels, kitten heels, Uggs, like plimsoll-y kind of shoes. But I'm yet to see anyone do a trench coat with Havanas. So if you want to get on that, I can't say I'm going to be doing that because that is just too much of a contrast for me. Like, you can't be walking down the street in London getting your little toes wet and wearing a trench coat. That's low-key criminal. Karl Lagerfeld once said, "The trench coat is the only thing that has kept its head above water." And let me say, Karl, you are right. You are right. Now, let's talk about a little bit more of the history when it comes to movies, movie stars, and in the 1940s and how that sort of evolved, especially in women's wear. Now, the trench coat skyrocketed to fame in the 1940s thanks to Hollywood stars like Humphrey Bogart and Audrey Hepburn in Breakfast at Tiffany's. While originally designed for men, the trench coat quickly became popular among women too. It was one of the earliest gender-neutral pieces in mainstream fashion, which is such a cool fact. And I guess now, because, you know, we all dress however we want. Men wear skirts, women wear trousers, things like that. It's not like so crazy, but we need to remember there was a time when like we only specifically dressed to our gender norms, and I love that the trench coat was one of the first things to sort of break that barrier. The famous Burberry check lining didn't appear in the trench coat until the 1920s. What started as a hidden design touch inside the coat became a recognizable hallmark of the Burberry brand, which we all know today. And some specific details about the trench that I personally have found that I love is you can get some trench coats with buttons up the side or like a big lapel sort of collar. I love a beautiful collar on a trench coat. When I wear my trench coats, I flip the collar up like I'm a vampire or something. I don't wear the collar down, I wear it up like Elvis. Maybe I'm inspired, but that is the vibe I like this. You see the vibe? But with the trench coat, I swear it actually does look good. I love the bat wings on the back of the trench. I'm not sure if that is the right terminology for it, but it's such a... Not every trench coat has it, so if I was going to get one, if I was you, 100% get a trench coat with the bat wings on the back. And even one of my friends, she's got a lovely navy blue trench coat. It's not vintage. Can't remember where she says she got it from, but it's got a hood. And I thought, why have I never thought of a trench coat with a hood? But that actually makes so much sense. So will we start seeing more of this? I feel like if it was going to stick, that would have happened already. And in one of my breakdown fashion runway videos recently, there was, I can't remember which brand it was, did a trench coat but backwards. Is that gonna stick around? No, because like it's not like it makes a massive difference to wear it front or back. If it was like, oh my goodness, this is so much more useful, then I get it, but it's definitely not. And also we've seen on runways doing crop trench coats, and I saw it in a charity shop the other day. I tried it on and I just couldn't get on board because it kind of looks a little Molly-Mae-ish, like it's just giving a little bit too basic. Now finally, to finish with one quote from the famous Anna Wintour, it reads, "There are few pieces that transcended every season, every year. The trench coat is as much a blank canvas as it is a masterpiece." And Anna babes, you got it on the money right there, because I couldn't have said it any better myself. There you have it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I really just wanted to do something a little bit different and deep dive into something specifically. If there's anything you guys think, oh, there's like a lot of history to that trend or a certain piece, let me know in the comments and I'll definitely try and do one of these videos soon, because I'm back on my video grind and I'm gonna be pumping out my vids. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. It would mean so much if you could please subscribe, because I'm not asking you for money, okay? So that's what you can do to help out me and build this empire over here. Follow me on my Spotify and send me song recommendations. I keep saying this, none of you have sent me song recommendations yet. No pop, no rock, but everything else I like. Okay, that's me done. Advice for today is, this sounds cringe, but this is genuinely the first thing that came to my head. Celebrate your little wins, because this is something I've been doing recently. I don't know if I winked very well. Anyways, love you, bye.